A few weeks ago, I had a chance to grill with Big Green Egg at Chicago Gourmet, which is this cool local cooking event. Local chefs come out, restaurants, they cook samples. A lot of people come out. It's a great turnout. We did pork sliders, we did beer brats. They turned out delicious and they were super easy to make. So that's what we're making today. Let's run out to Mariano's, get our ingredients, and get these going. The ingredients are pretty simple. We've got our veggies for the brats, so peppers, onions. We've got the brats, pork tenderloin, buns, sliders for the pork, beer, seasoning, and some crispy onions. These are two very simple recipes. They're perfect for tailgating, perfect if you have people coming over, great as appetizers, snacks. Let's get right into it. We'll start on the veggie prep first. So I've got a couple onions, a couple bell peppers. Let's cut these guys up. We've got the peppers and onions cut up and in our foil pan covered in beer. I did add a little barbecue seasoning for some extra flavor. Now this looks like it is a lot, but the vegetables will shrink as they're cooking, plus some of the beer will evaporate. So I'm gonna get this on the egg, get these going, and after these have a chance to soften up for a bit, we'll add our brats. Got the Big Green Egg fired up and set up for dual zone cooking. So I've got the direct heat side and the indirect side. So I'm gonna put my peppers, onions, and the beer over the direct side, bring this up to a boil, let this cook down, and get these guys nice and soft. The idea here is to cook the veggies first, get those softened up, and then we'll put the brats in, let everything simmer together, get those brats fully cooked up, get the delicious beer flavor into them, and I'm gonna drop them on the direct heat side, char them off, sear them up. They're gonna be delicious. While that's coming up to temperature, let's get started on the pork tenderloin. I'm keeping the prep on the pork tenderloins very simple. Straight out of the packaging, pat it dry, and season it with your favorite barbecue rub. I'm gonna let these guys hang out a little bit, sweat, start absorbing that rub. This is a very lean cut. There's not a whole lot of fat on them, so it's important to cook them to the right temperature. So these will go on the egg on the indirect heat side at about 250 degrees, and I'm gonna pull them off just shy of 145, let them rest for a few minutes, and they're going to be perfect. Our peppers and onions have been simmering now for about 30 minutes. They are smelling and looking great. I'm gonna take my brats and drop these guys in right in that beer. Make sure that these guys are submerged and continue cooking until these guys are fully cooked. I put my second grate in the Big Green Egg for the indirect setup, so let's get the pork tenderloins on. So these go on the indirect side of the grill. So we've got the pork on one side and the beer brats on the other side. I'm going to close the lid and let these guys cook. The pork tenderloins have been cooking for about 40 minutes or so. They're temping right around 140. So I'm going to pull these guys off, let them rest. They're going to come up to 145 and they will be perfectly juicy and delicious. Last part of this cook is to sear off these brats. So these have been braising with the onions and the peppers and the beer. So we're going to toss these guys on the direct heat side of the grill for just a couple minutes, get that nice color and char on the outside. They will be ready. Is there anything better than a nicely seared off brat? Check these things out. They are looking great. Let's start by cutting off our pork tenderloin. These have been resting for a couple minutes. These are looking and smelling great. Let's cut this guy up. Since we're doing sliders, I'm gonna cut these about a ½ inch thick. Oh yeah, look at this thing. Super tender. When you cook your pork tenderloin to the proper internal temperature, it is very juicy, very tender. You even get a little smoke ring. Yeah, let's cut this guy up. Just take a quick little bite. That is really nice. For the sliders, I'm going with King's Hawaiian Original Sweet Rolls. These things are my absolute favorite. Take these guys out. Look at that, nice, soft, sweet. Is gonna pair super well with that pork. All I'm gonna do is just slice these guys right down the middle, and then we'll make our sliders. First up, we'll go with just a little barbecue sauce. Use whichever one you'd like. Next, we'll go with our pork. Ooh, that is great. We'll go with some crispy onions on top. These things will give it a nice crunch. And we'll go with a little more sauce on the very top. And just like that, our smoked pork tenderloin slider is ready. Next up, we'll do the brats. So I have a nice brat bun, nice and hearty. We'll go with our delicious brat first, and then we'll scoop out some of these peppers and onions. Whew. These are smelling amazing. Pile it on nice and high, and we'll top it all off with some spicy brown mustard. Oops, there we go, come on. Look at that. That is a delicious looking brat. Let's give the pork tenderloin slider a try. This thing is looking great. It's sweet, it's smoky, has that nice crunch from those onions. You have this nice pillowy soft bread. This is delicious, super easy to make too. Again, perfect for tailgating. Perfect if you're trying to feed a crowd because they're super easy to make. And if you cook your pork tenderloin to the right internal temperature, it comes out super tender, very flavorful. So good. And now we've got our beer braised brat with the onions, the peppers, the spicy mustard. Yeah, this is this is looking really good. Wow, that beer flavor comes through so well from the onions and the brat, just from having it braised in that liquid. Delicious spicy mustard is a must-have on brats. It just goes so well together. It's nice and juicy inside. You get that nice kind of grilled flavor from charring it up, from searing it after the beer braise. So good. Not sure how well you can see, but this thing is glistening inside. That's going to be it for this video, guys. If you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. Love interacting with each and every one of you. Starting next week or the week after, I'm going to be starting a grill review series. So be sure to stick around for that. And yeah, I'll just hang out here and finish my delicious brats.